Brian. And I'm Nathan. This is the At Odd Show. Please listen.
Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
And welcome to At Odds. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
And it's Thursday, July 18th. We're broadcasting from the back room of the Self-Defense Bar and Studio in a small town in what country, Nate? Somalia, where you definitely need self-defense, and an AK-47 is standard issue.
It is, and do not drink the water.
No.
You'll get Somalia poisoning.
Don't drink the water. Don't drink it all when you're there.
No, actually, you shouldn't.
No. Well, maybe some Johnny Walker.
Black?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
We want to say that we're going to talk about a lot of things. We'll talk about the Zimmerman Trial. We had a verdict. We're going to talk about God Carries a Gun. And we're going to talk about Detroit and its bankruptcy and a lot of other things. So stay tuned. I want you to like us on Facebook, please. Oh, you know what we're going to do? I think what we'll do is we'll give away one of our books, My Parents Open Carry.
It's not a bad plan, Brian.
For everyone that likes us on Facebook over the next 2 weeks, we'll give it 2 weeks, we'll put your name into a hat and burn it. And there won't be any winner.
And then we'll pick our favorite person.
Right. And
it'll be one of us.
Yeah, and it'll be your nephew or your cousin or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, we'll pick a name out of the people that like us from now on, this date right now, July 18th.
We'll put everybody, even the people that like us already, in the
Really?
hat,
I don't think we should do that.
We should, because look, the reason we should, and call us with your suggestion 248-455 odds. The reason we should, is that they've liked us this entire time without any incentive at all.
Right,
in fact,
and they've regretted that.
There was a huge disincentive to like us, and that was
there still
you
is.
can see our posts and think, yeah, I know.
They could actually listen to the show. Oh, you know what I'll do? No, I want to have the new people have a better chance. So why don't we do this? We'll put new people for the next 2 weeks. We'll put your name in twice for each time. So if you register now, your name will go in twice, and all the people for now for 2 weeks. And then we'll put in the previous people that we'll put them in once. We'll shake it up in a big hat, and then we'll have somebody draw a name out of there. They'll win a copy of our book, My Parents Open Carry. It's a great kids book. And then we'll contact you through private messaging, and however you want to do it. If you want to give us address, post office box, have it shipped to the local police, and you can go pick it up. Whatever, however you want to do it. I mean, some people don't like to give their address. I don't know, but if you win, we'll let you know.
I just don't know if having our book shipped to the local police would be the best option.
I think that's
for somebody.
Well, maybe we'll do 2, and then the police can keep a copy, and then the winner can keep a copy. But I think, what do you think, Nate? You want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Let's
that's
do
a good
that.
idea.
We'd like to get 100 maybe new likes or something. So if you're listening to us on Red State Talk Radio and you haven't liked us, go to Facebook. Where's our what's our thingy?
Facebook.com/@oddshow.
Really? It's At Odd Show?
At Odd Show.
It's that simple.
Also, just search for At Odd Show up there in the little Facebook searchy.
Searchy.
Yep. You can also go to atoddshow.com and click on the little Facebook. There's a little F there. You click on the little F and it'll take you to Facebook. Don't click on the wrong F. That'll take you to a different website. But the F that looks like the Facebook logo take you right to Facebook.
Not the flesh-colored F.
I have to keep track of my website somehow, so I just put the links on atoddshow.com.
And Nate is a computer engineer. Computer is Nate.
And you is an English major.
I is not English major.
Oh,
God, that was not good for me. It still ain't good, talk good.
Wow.
English was not my forte. It's a good thing I became a geologist because there ain't no words in rocks. So let's do that. Let's encourage people to like us on Facebook, and we'll keep track of that. And 2 weeks from now, we'll announce maybe a winner. If that's not incentive, I don't know what is. It's a $15 value.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, let's call it.
We'll even
that.
sign it.
Only if you want us
It's
to.
a $13 value if we sign it, but we will sign it for you
if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Like I mentioned before, give us a call. You want to be on the show. We are live Thursdays at 8 p.m. 248-455-ODDS.
We're live right now, except when we're not.
248-455-6337. You can email us, talk@oddshow.com.
Breaking news. Detroit, Michigan, city of, files bankruptcy, $19 billion in debt.
Well, that's not too bad.
No,
that's not too bad. That's a fraction of the national debt. So what do you expect from a city?
I would think that as a city, that's a lot because there's lots of states that don't have a $19 billion budget, let alone a $19 billion debt.
Well, certainly only the tiny itty-bitty states like Rhode Island.
And to be fair, I should say that is sort of the maximum estimate. It could be between 14 and 19
Yeah, so I don't know why you're trying to blow this out of proportion. Years and years of liberals running the city of Detroit have helped it grow and prosper.
Yeah. Except when it hasn't.
Yeah.
And, of course, they'll blame the Bush and the economy.
And GM.
And GM, yeah.
And Chrysler. Yeah, those are the people to blame.
It couldn't be the liberal mindset, the democratic philosophy, okay.
No, I mean, it couldn't be the councilwoman that we had the clip on a previous show.
Couldn't be Kwame Kilpatrick.
The councilwoman saying, well, when our previous mayor went to Washington, he brought home some bacon. Where's the bacon? Where's the federal money? Why aren't we getting a handout as a city? You don't want people running your city that think that the city should run on handouts from the federal government.
Right, that's bad. Well, and I'm sure she's not alone. I mean, that is the mindset.
No, absolutely.
They don't say, listen, we have a budget. This is what we can afford to pay for services. This is how we're going to run it, like a household. No. Just give me that free money.
Yep.
The problem is money ain't free.
Yep.
And when you go from 1.8 million people to 700,000 people in 20 years, that's not so good.
No,
that's not so good. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I'm just really proud
because we're going to go from Detroit, the bastion of liberty, freedom, democracy, capitalism, to another bastion of all that, Washington, D.C. But you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that
segue.
The emergency manager laws that we've passed here in Michigan have done so much good.
They've worked
just
very well.
Proud of them.
Yeah,
that's all I was going to say. I like Snyder so much.
I'm not going to blame it on that. This ship had too many holes in it.
Absolutely.
There was no saving this baby.
Absolutely. No. Flint, Detroit, Saginaw. I mean, look at the Buena Vista schools. It's the same cause of their symptoms. It's the leadership is on the wrong side of the wrench.
Wrench? Yeah. They're the nut and we're the wrench or what? No. No, the philosophy is totally different.
I'm sorry. What?
The philosophy
of those cities?
The political philosophy
is different than what is correct.
Principles. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're on the wrong side of the wrench.
There you go.
That's what you meant to say.
I'm going to coin that, and that's going to become popular.
Yeah, I know.
You just wait.
No, it won't. Washington, D.C., man with .45, handgun in front of White House was only going to fire a couple of shots.
Yeah.
Brother.
So
that's all. I'm just going to shoot a couple times.
I don't really know what was going on with this guy. He was shirtless, like all good, upstanding citizens.
I watched the video. He looked a little tipsy.
Yeah. Had a .45 in his backpack. He was at a Secret Service booth outside the White House.
With 3 magazines.
Took the .45 out, 13 rounds, high-capacity magazines.
Hollow points.
Had Hollow Points cop killers in there.
Cop killers. And he had 170-some rounds.
171 rounds of Hollow Point
and 2 hunting
knives.
Killers.
With serrated edges,
Ooh,
Brian.
They're the worst ones.
Yeah, because
those are assault knives.
You can get scales off of
those are assault knives.
Fish and
you
things,
can't
and
have serrated edges.
Yeah, no, because you know.
And I bet the handle was black.
I guarantee it was.
And probably the blade was black.
Guarantee it.
Because those are assault knives.
Guarantee
you can't
it.
have those scary black knives.
Guarantee it. He also had scopes on his knives.
Anyways, he looked like he was kind of an idiot.
He was arrested, and he told the police, "I was only going to fire a couple rounds if no one confronted me."
No one confronted me, but they did confront him.
Yeah. Now, my question to you
Yes.
was, how is this different than what Adam Kokesh did? And I on the surface, I understand how it was different, but in principle, how was it different? Other than he kind of threatened to shoot his gun, that's a bit different. But that was after the fact. He didn't shoot anybody, as far as I know. He went to a place where it's illegal to have a firearm, where it should not be illegal to have a firearm, and he had a firearm.
Well, the difference is this guy got caught right away.
Yeah.
And Adam made a statement, and they used it as an excuse to plant mushrooms on him. And,
come on now. Come on.
Well, that's what he's claiming.
That's what he said from jail.
Yeah, that's
right?
what he said
Yeah,
from
come
jail.
on. Actually, he didn't say that. He did not say that.
What did he
you have
say?
to listen to what he said.
Okay.
He said they used this as it was a political
An excuse,
move
yeah,
to come plant something in my apartment or find something in my apartment.
Did he say or find
Yeah,
something?
he did.
Okay.
So he's careful. Now,
I'll say the difference between Adam and this guy
is this guy probably already has a lawyer lined up?
maybe
Because he thought ahead, unlike Adam, who's like, I don't have a lawyer.
Yeah, Adam's got lawyers. He just doesn't have any money for them.
Does he? Why is he using the public defender?
Just for a
then?
little
How
while.
good of an idea is that?
The difference between the guy today and Adam is about 90 IQ points.
Adam wasn't drunk, probably, when he
Probably
did it?
wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
Adam
I
wore
don't-
a shirt.
I don't.
This guy didn't have a
Makes him
shirt.
much more reputable.
And his Adam's pants were up around his waist, where this guy's was drooping down around his buttocks.
That's because he just got harassed by the man.
The man beat him up.
You
beat
didn't.
him up.
He might have had a shirt on before the police grabbed him. You don't know.
I like the people that were videotaping it, and the one guy says, "I don't see it. I don't see it." And the other guy says, "Check the bottom of his feet."
Yeah, I can
His
see
bottom
the
of his feet was grass. I'm
Yeah.
assuming he was walking.
Yeah, he was barefoot too, I think.
Was
So-
he? I don't know. We're
so.
speculating on that, but he might have been. Yeah, I think I don't know.
There's
I
probably a
suppose-
lot more to the story, but
I think the difference is maybe intent, brandishing of a sort. I don't know.
he took it out and
Adam-
clipped it to his belt.
Adam,
You know?
yeah, but I don't know if
think
he was
Adam
waving it around
Adam
or
was,
not. I don't know.
From what I heard, and of course, there's more to all of
I
these
saw
stories.
Adam's video. And he-
Adam was brandishing more than it sounded like this guy was. I mean, if you talk
Maybe.
about branding, he was holding it in his hands. Neither, from what I saw, and not knowing that this guy was drunk, if he was drunk, that's a different story too. Neither of them should really be illegal. They had firearms. They didn't shoot anyone. They didn't point them at anybody from what I saw.
Right.
Of course, there's more to it. This guy probably was a crazy loon drunk guy.
And depending on, if the gun was lawfully possessed or not. I mean, all those things.
Well,
But-
come on now.
I
mean,
I
that's
know.
slippery
I know.
because what does
I know.
lawfully possessed mean?
I know. I agree with you.
Now, what probably will come out, and this is kind of what I touched on before, is that these sorts of things will get tied back to Adam Kokesh. Because what are we doing? What did I do? I said, how does this guy in D.C. with a gun relate to Adam Kokesh with a gun? And now you have this seemingly crazy guy without a shirt on.
We don't know if
That's
it's
getting-
related in any way.
No, but didn't we tie it together right now on the show? And you think people who are anti-gun won't tie these things together?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my real issue.
But
with
my
the whole
position has always been is screw the anti-gun people.
Well, of
And
course.
that might be
But it's
naive, but I'm really serious. There are more pro-gun people. There are more people that are for civil rights, and there's more people for the Second Amendment. I know
Where
people
are
that.
they?
Well,
Where are they? They're not
there.
in power. There's not one
many.
of us that's
Not-
been elected to office that's
not
done
many.
anything.
Well, you're trying. Maybe someday you will.
But even then,
I
mean,
have too many skeletons. In
there
the
are
closet.
a couple people that have been elected to office that are great. But what have they done?
But
they try.
It's not even. I'm not talking about elected officials. I'm talking about the masses of people. I mean, look at what happened with the gun issue, or gun control issue, and the gun law. I mean, they tried their damnedest to get this thing passed, and even those people that aren't really pro-gun understand that the Second Amendment is important for liberty and freedom. And I know a lot of people that don't own guns, but they go, I get the Second Amendment. I understand what it is. And I'm not opposed to law-abiding citizens having firearms.
Unfortunately, you're getting Facebook messages, but what really was important that you've mentioned before, it took an attack like we've had recently on gun rights, for people to really stand up and say this isn't right. And now people are kind of sitting back down because the whole gun argument isn't big anymore. Now it's Zimmerman and racism and Al Sharpton and gay rapists.
I've been alive 30 more years than you have. I've seen this come and go, and almost 30 years, 29. Tell your mom I said hi.
I think you just did. Hi, Mom.
Oh, my God, she's listening, isn't she?
You usually do.
Oh, boy. Anyways, the thing is, this comes up and comes down. And when it gets serious and it looks like people are really going to try to go after guns, at least in the last 25 years, remember, the tide has turned in the pro-gun position. There are more people that believe people should be able to own handguns. The concealed carry movement has gone on. The open carry movement is moving on. The tide has turned in our favor, and I think it will continue to do that. More importantly now is people, I think, are starting to realize that this administration, and, I'm not going to say it's just the Democrats because the Republicans did this after 9/11, becoming more and more dictatorial, more and more police state, more and more trying to take away our liberties. And we can talk about some of that. I do want to talk about some of that tonight.
Look, the Republicans that are in office now largely are no better than the Democrats. I mean, look at the ones that get the publicity, that actually have a say, that are making a difference. You have John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, these types of people that are not doing the right thing. Marco Rubio, he has principles. He stands with them. He tries. He's wrong on immigration. But in large part, the Republicans that are in office are not what we want.
I can't identify with any party anymore. It was much clearer 25, 30 years ago. Much clearer. And it's just, you can't do it now. And it's it's the lesser of two evils is how people are looking at it. And it shouldn't be that way.
No, it shouldn't.
Things are getting ugly. I don't know. We're not going to solve it. All we can do is have people and tell us, or tell people what we think.
Sit here and yell at microphones.
And hope that somebody hears it and goes out and does some investigation for themselves. Zimmerman verdict, not guilty.
I had something.
I think most people...
I had that for that verdict. That very, 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 very accurate verdict.
Well, I think, if a person actually watched the trial like I did, almost in its entirety, would have come to no other conclusion than not guilty on second-degree murder.
There was little to no evidence suggesting that it was not self-defense.
And then
the prosecution did a terrible job.
And everyone who disagrees with that, 9 out of 10 of them, maybe even 10 out of 10, never watched the trial, and all they did was regurgitate what the media said
they watched
a year ago.
NBC News, and
a year ago.
Absolutely.
He hunted that boy down. He jumped out of the bushes, I heard some people say, and shot him.
If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon Martin. That's the kind of stuff we're dealing with, and that's being ramped up again.
Yeah.
It's now, so the state of Florida found Zimmerman not guilty. He was acquitted of all charges. Which I do want to point out, not guilty is very different than innocent.
Oh, yeah,
he wasn't ruled innocent.
Right.
By law, though,
right,
he acted lawfully. It's redundant, but, he didn't... They did not prove that he did anything
even
illegal.
If he had murdered him and was found not guilty, a not guilty verdict can come just from the fact that the prosecution did not have a case that convinced the jurors beyond a reasonable doubt that this person committed that crime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're voting guilty or not guilty. You're not voting innocent and guilty.
Right. So that's different. That
distinction.
Is different.
Yeah.
But what's being ramped up now is, maybe the federal government should bring a civil rights charge.
They want another bite of the apple.
Which they already had an investigation.
For a year and a half.
16 months.
They looked in this right away and they didn't find anything.
They didn't. But now, since the
verdict came out,
Florida failed
effed
justice.
Up on this.
Maybe Eric Holder should take a look at it. And
what a racist he is. God,
talk
about a racist.
No kidding. And what's ridiculous is race was not part of what happened that night. As far as we know, there was no evidence shown that race had any part.
And that was brought up in the investigation. the Sanford police did an investigation trying to find some evidence that Zimmerman was a racist. They checked all kinds of anti black, pro-white organizations. Matter of fact, Zimmerman was a gadfly to the Sanford Police Department when they beat up a black guy. He was asking for justice for this guy.
Wasn't he mentoring one or two young black children?
Yes, he was not a racist in no way. He may have been a little strange. He might have had I want to be a police officer type of stuff. I mean, there are people like that. It's not illegal. That's fine. But I don't think he was a racist. I don't think race was a motivation in this at all. I think he was sincerely confronted by this kid. Now, the thing is, the prosecution or the judge wouldn't allow a lot of evidence into the case to kind of show the character of Martin as kind of a druggy punk kid. They didn't let him show pictures of him smoking pot, holding guns. I saw some Facebook posts where Martin was asking for codeine so he could make his purple drink or his lean or whatever they call it, which, by the way, is made often with watermelon iced tea and Skittles and cough syrup.
That's odd.
Now, he didn't have cough syrup, so apparently that's not what he was making, but he had 2 out of 3. He might have had cough syrup
but
at
really,
home.
that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying this kid was not an angel.
I don't think to make a point at all in this case that you really have to look at the personality of either party.
Oh, they bring in character witnesses all the time.
Of course
they
do.
Some
of course they do. But
about that,
the only thing that matters is what happened that night, right before and when the shooting happened. That's really what matters.
What the judge ruled.
The jury made the right decision.
I agree.
Absolutely made the right decision.
I agree. You know what was surprising is one of the jurors came out and said there was, 2 of them wanted murder and 1 wanted manslaughter?
Yeah, that's what they said. Yep. So it was. And in Florida, it was a jury of 6.
Right.
So 3 of them were not guilty when they started deliberations.
3 were guilty.
3 were guilty of something.
Yep.
And they came around to it.
Well, and she said that some of them were like, well, we just have to get him for something, which was the worst fear that the defense had.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were using emotion and not
political
the law,
and
they
public
were not,
pressure.
They were not looking at the evidence. I think once it was explained to them, it showed to them, it was clarified on manslaughter and all that, they finally came around.
Yep. Take a quick break. When we get back, I want to talk about Eric Holder keeping Zimmerman's gun away from him if he can. But 248-455-6337. That's Facebook.com/@oddshow.
Hi, you're listening to the @Odd Show with Nate and Brian. And may you be in heaven a half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
The voice of American conservatism. WRS Digital, Red State Talk Radio.
Fact. U.S. credit card debt is 8 times larger than it was 30 years ago. No wonder you and I are feeling the credit card crunch. You're not alone. Increasing prices and the costs of credit are stretching budgets and preventing people just like us from getting ahead or just catching up with our debts. At American Financial Debt Relief, we can help. We have tested ways to help you get out of debt. Find out how now. The call is free to learn more. If you qualify, we can reduce your interest, show you how to stop your debt from getting larger, and help you get out of debt faster than you can by making minimum payments. So if you're falling behind on your credit cards or medical bills, give us a call right now, where a free 5-minute call can change your life.
800-978-4815. 800-978-4815. Reduce your credit card debt. Call now. 800-978-4815. 800-978-4815.
Real radio for real Americans.
Red State Talk Radio.
Obama wants your money, and he's determined to get it. He wants your money to buy off unions, his Wall Street cronies, and to expand the Obama welfare nation. Well, Swiss America is determined to stop him from stealing your money. They want to send you an award-winning film, I Want Your Money, on DVD that exposes his plan. It'll help keep the government's hands off your money using gold, silver, and other hard asset strategies to protect your hard-earned money. Call today and request the DVD, I Want Your Money, normally $19.95, yours absolutely free. Let Swiss America show you how to use gold, silver, and other hard assets to protect your hard-earned money. Call now. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call Swiss America right now. Learn all about investing in gold. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call now.
And you're back. This is Brian. You're listening to the At Odd Show. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm Nate. I don't know what you're doing over there. Are you making some funny noises?
I'm making funny noises. What? I wasn't making it. Oh, my God. There's a ghost in here.
That wasn't you?
No.
Uh-oh.
You were going to mention something about Eric Holder.
Yeah, no, this was fairly... You can do your breaking news thing now because this is...
The one that looks like a sloth.
This is...
He does. Look it up.
I don't like him.
I don't either.
I love sloths, though.
I love sloths.
They were created just for hugging people.
That's why God created
Or is that koala
them.
bears?
No, koala bears are cuter, much cuter.
No, but okay. No, what the Justice Department is, what I heard they're doing, and this was new. I haven't looked it up much. So
they smell like
take it for what it is. They smell like eucalyptus, and
koala bears do.
They have told Florida, the state of Florida, to keep George Zimmerman's gun and
do not give it back
to him. They keep all evidence because they're doing an investigation for a civil rights complaint.
That's not the real reason.
They just want him to be disarmed.
Right.
Is the real reason.
Right.
What they've
Nobody's whacked
done
him
is
yet.
disarmed George Zimmerman when he needs to be armed the most.
Yeah.
He was armed the one night of his life that he needed to be armed, which is a good lesson to all of you who are complacent and say, yeah, I'm just running to the store or just headed to, poker or whatever. I don't need my gun.
Go to the gas station. Yeah.
If he had done that this night, who knows how this would have ended up. He could be dead.
Well, we can speculate all we want.
Yeah, absolutely, but from what we've seen, it was self-defense. He acted lawfully. He needed the gun at that point to protect himself.
I concur.
From death or great bodily harm.
He needs it even more now.
And now he needs it because
he's a
what
marked
happened,
man.
the new Black Panther Party came out, once again put a bounty on
Didn't
somebody's
Obama
head.
just go and talk at one of their functions or something? How can...
I really doubt that.
Okay.
That would be news.
I thought he was there.
That would be news. Eric Holder just went to the NAACP. That could have confused you because...
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Well, come on. NAACP is one of the largest, most racist organizations in this country. They are not what they were founded back when they were founded by Republicans. They're not doing that work anymore.
It was a white guy that founded
I'm pretty sure it was a white Republican that started it up because there was a need for it.
Well, he had a black ancestor, but he was as white as you.
That had to be it, right?
What?
Yeah, he didn't found it because of his good intentions. Although all progressivism is rooted in good intentions.
He did it for money.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I suppose not.
Except now what it's turned into is not something that we really like. It turned into a venue for Eric Holder to talk to a bunch of black people to incite riots. That's what it turned into. Right. Well, what we really need to do, because separate and apart from the George Zimmerman case, we need to talk about stand your ground laws, which is what he said. I mean, come on, give me a break, moron.
Which Zimmerman didn't even use as a
defense. It was not
defense.
stand your ground.
It was English common law self-defense.
It was not stand your ground. Right. When you're laying on the ground,
you cannot retreat.
Cannot stand.
Yeah. Oh.
Your ground.
Wow. You're on the ground.
Yeah. So good luck trying to retreat.
Yeah, and that's what he used. He didn't use stand your ground. Jesse Jackson, is irrelevant in today's world, I think, and he has a lot of rhetoric and stuff. The problem is, he can say what he wants, but he's going to get somebody. He's getting people killed, and he's getting people beaten up.
Absolutely,
and he wants Whitey to die. I mean,
and that's what's happening.
I can't see any other.
There's elderly people that were beat up. I mean, Hispanic got beat up, white people got beat up, windows got broken, and of course, the first riots we heard of were in Oakland. And what do we have there? We have pretty good black bloc sect of Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, and a Democratic mayor. And
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if she's Asian or something or other. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter.
Race shouldn't matter.
Really,
but the great unifier that we have as President of the United States, who is as white as George Zimmerman,
right,
did nothing to unify this country along racial lines. In fact, he darkened the racial lines and pushed everybody to sides.
You said darken.
Come on now. See, and that's the problem. Before Barack Obama, you would have never had that thought in your head.
No, not one thought in my head. I didn't have thoughts in my head anyways.
And you still don't, and that's obvious.
It's funny because there was an article by Patrick Howley in the Daily Caller that said that in Florida, under the statistics he looked at from the Tampa Bay Times, that blacks tended to benefit more than whites did from Stand Your Ground. Now, it's not scientific, but what he found was 69 white defendants argued Stand Your Ground, 39 were considered justified, 32 blacks defendants argued Stand Your Ground, and 25 were considered justified. So the ratio is greater for blacks than whites.
A higher percentage of blacks who claim Stand Your Ground.
It was found that they were justified.
It was actually Stand Your Ground. Yeah. To me, that really doesn't mean much. Maybe it means that the whites are claiming Stand Your Ground when they shouldn't be, not necessarily that blacks are getting more of a break on it.
No, I don't think that's it.
I don't think that's the
I'm
case.
Just
and that
saying,
was kind of the point that he was trying to make, that, well, blacks benefit from it more than whites. So when we talk about race, that's...
Let's talk about that. People have benefited from this. And you know what I hate is they always say, well, since Stand Your Ground, there's been twice as many justified self-defense. Well, of course there has been. Because the old days,
it would have been murder.
The people were killed.
Yeah.
Or, so this is crap to say
absolutely.
That this is a bad law.
And that's the thing Eric Holder said, actually, is that if you can... Since it worked in Zimmerman's case to use just English common law, then that's all we need.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
I heard this. What is her name? She's a liberal. She's on Fox News all the time. I can't remember her name, but she was saying, well, what if the Stand Your Ground law, all it does is legalizes murder? Because what if I have a stalker and I'm walking at night and I have a gun, I'm armed, and someone follows me behind me, and I turn around with my gun because it might be my stalker,
right,
and they have a gun, and they shoot me because they see that I have my gun. I said, well, maybe you shouldn't have pulled your gun on them.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have.
I mean,
and that's murder, by the way.
I don't think it is. I don't think so. Absolutely not. If I was walking...
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you're right.
She had a gun. If I'm walking behind someone, they turn around with a gun...
Yeah, and you shoot them?
Yeah. Come on.
So,
even if you're going to argue Stand Your Ground in the Zimmerman case... He may have been following Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin turned around at some point.
He had 4 or 5 minutes to go home.
And got on top of him and was beating him.
If he was so scared of being raped, robbed, or harassed...
Which, by the way...
Why didn't he jog home? He could have been home in 30 seconds.
His girly friend, Rachel Gentel...
Oh, sweetheart.
Who, by the way, is the queen of everything now.
She's brilliant, too.
Very brilliant. She's 19 and still in high school.
Which she won't finish.
Right.
Guarantee it.
Right. But that doesn't matter. Okay. She was worried that
she's dumb, that's what I'm saying.
She was worried that George Zimmerman was actually a rapist.
Right.
Gay rapist.
A gay rapist as opposed to a straight rapist.
Well, because gay rapists would rape young children. She didn't say anything about race.
I know. Yeah.
About race. She thought he may be gay. And if Trayvon Martin ain't that way, and if you ain't that way, it makes you uncomfortable.
Sure.
And now,
because if you were gay and you were being raped, that's okay.
Mind you, Trayvon Martin couldn't go home because his younger brother was there.
Right.
And what would a gay rapist do? Rape his younger brother as well if he had followed him home.
Both of them.
It had nothing to do with race. Rachel Gentel on Piers Morgan, talking about this after the case, didn't say anything about race. In fact, everything that she said that I think is racial...
Like cracker?
And the N-word, if you spell it with an A, she said that's not racial. So she didn't have any thoughts of race in her mind. So really, is Trayvon a gay basher? That's what I'm thinking.
I think you could use her statements on that show to nix a civil rights violation charge by the feds.
And the fact that it was very dark and raining that night?
And
so how can you tell anything?
No one knew.
And George Zimmerman is dark himself?
Because he's not really, totally white.
He is as white as the President of the United States. Half as white as me, though.
He's a beautiful man, too.
And I'm proud of it.
Of being white?
Yes.
Okay. Well, why shouldn't you be?
Right.
I'm just proud of being, alive.
Yeah, well, that's fundamentally proud to be an American.
And not
just
proud,
like everybody else
but,
is.
but fortunate to be an American. Because you and I could have been born in, some poverty-stricken.
Also proud. I thought you were going to say fortunate to be alive, and I was going to
That's
tell
true,
you
too.
You're right, because I'm not always happy with you.
Huh?
Nothing.
And I'm not always alive. All right, so let's move on.
All right.
You didn't want to talk about this. I'm going to bring it up because we're at odds.
I never said I didn't want to talk about it.
But Anthea
I said,
Butler,
what the hell's your point?
Anthea Butler
She's a crazy liberal.
She's a professor at Penn State, I think.
Crazy liberal.
Crazy liberal. She said on camera, and I'll try to read it. Should I do it in sort of an ethnic thing, or should I just do it straight?
Well, now you absolutely shouldn't do it in a sort of an ethnic thing, because
All right.
You missed your chance to make this not awkward. So go ahead.
It's awkward now?
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
it's getting there.
It's getting there.
I think it started when we said, "Hi, welcome to At Odds."
That was it. You want me to do it like?
You want to read it?
I'm Barack Obama.
No,
and I approve this message.
She says, "God ain't good all of the time." Well, no kidding. If you read the Old Testament, you know that's true. In fact, sometimes God is not for us, meaning black people, I guess. As a black woman in a nation that has taken too many pains to remind me that I am not a white man, okay, you're not a white man, and am not capable of taking care of my reproductive rights or my voting rights, I know that this American God ain't my God. As a matter of fact, I think he's a white racist God with a problem. More importantly, and this is my point, he is carrying a gun and stalking young black men.
Miss Butler, go to hell.
Jesus.
And you will.
What an ignorant woman. Oh, you dink. All right. I don't know if there's a hell or a heaven, but I know she's going to hell. All right.
I don't even know.
It's an American God. I didn't know that. What she doesn't realize is that it's really Vishnu, the Hindu God, that's the true God, and you're all going to hell except for the Hindu.
And he has a sword.
Yeah, and he has a sword.
It's not a gun. And he's definitely not
white. He's got 5 arms and an elephant's trunk.
And not racist. He loves everybody. So I mean,
but he won't eat a Big Mac.
Because of the cow.
They're sacred.
Yeah. Now I feel really bad about the bumper that I have queued.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. You guys, that's some foreshadowing. You guys will have fun with that.
I understand the point. I see what she's trying to say. I think
worst
she's an
show
idiot.
ever.
I don't think she made any coherent point. What she's trying to say is, well,
why are you analyzing what she's trying to say?
It's God's will that George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin, and that's obviously
she's not saying that at all.
Because no.
George Zimmerman
has said that. So she's analyzing that, saying, well, then he's white and racist, just like George Zimmerman, and carries a gun and follows around black kids.
Well, if you
really, I think she was calling George Zimmerman God, which I disagree with a little bit.
And God, he's not so fond of the Christians. He's really a Jewish God.
Yeah, I don't think he's Hispanic either. So
if you look back, Jesus, come on.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. That's proof.
Which is, I guess, Chewy, which is the slang for Jesus.
You remember Michael Hastings?
No.
Journalist in California,
Never heard of him.
San Diego area.
Never heard of him.
Who is Los Angeles, I mean. So he was...
You mean the one that had a bunch of good stuff on the federal government?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a lot of...
Rolling Stone stuff, I think.
A lot of research and...
Was it Rolling Stones or...
I don't like the Rolling Stones. We can... The Rolling Stones,
matter.
We can
it's
talk about that
magazine.
if you want. It's a terrible national magazine that sells like 4,000 copies a year.
And so is Playboy.
Oh, come on. No, but they sell millions of copies a year.
They do?
I don't know. They sell more than Rolling Stone.
Yeah, but
I'm
sure
of it.
There's naked girls in them.
That's why you haven't ever bought one.
Oh, snap. Let's move on. Anyways, Michael Hastings, car mysteriously blew up. Even though cars don't really blow up.
No, they do. You remember the Ford Pinto? Oh, always blew up.
Was he driving a Ford Pinto?
He was.
He was not.
And he got rear-ended.
No, he didn't. He crashed into a tree or something.
Oh, that's right. Weird. Car blew up.
The family said, we want the body, and the government said, we've got something to hide, so we're going to cremate him.
Accidentally cremated his body.
That part, but they did cremate him without permission.
Because you might accidentally find the poisoning that we put in.
Or whatever. I don't want to feed the conspiracy theory, but by God, this is looking worse and worse all the time.
Yeah, it's
I
odd,
try hard not to believe all of this crap and
Look,
to trust
I'm
my
sure-
government. I just can't do it anymore.
I'm sure it was an honest mistake.
I just can't do it. They've lied too many
They put
times.
the wrong tag on the bag. They burned him.
Accident.
I'm sorry.
Yep, sorry. But the end result is the same.
It is. That's what makes it so
The
difficult.
evidence is poof up in smoke. Something to make you go,
That's why so many crazy people think that 9/11 was an inside job, is because you can look at it, and if you don't actually dig into it, you look and say, well, the evidence kind of does point to George Bush.
I think it points to Woodrow Wilson.
Radical Islam?
No,
I
Woodrow
think,
Wilson.
yeah,
goes
I
back
think
that far.
I think the evidence does kind of point to the people that we actually declared war on. I think is where the evidence points.
Who did we declare war on?
Humanity. And women. Republicans declared war on women.
Yeah, and brown people.
And brown people. And gays.
Really?
Yeah, no, you
When
didn't
did
know that.
Republicans start? Abraham Lincoln was gay. How can they hate gay people?
It's true. He was a hell of a zombie slayer, too. Great movie. You should watch it.
No, I'm not going to watch it.
The vampire movie with him, not so good.
Not
but
so good.
The Vampire Slayer, awesome movie.
All right. How about you were? I thought you said Washington man charged for following Biden's advice and shotgun. I thought he was Canadian.
Who was Canadian?
The guy that shot the shotgun was using Biden as an excuse or a defense.
He was not in Canada.
Okay. All right. I
It
don't
was
know
in
why I was thinking
what
that.
was it? Vancouver or something? Washington.
Oh, Vancouver. Yeah, that's
Or
Washington.
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, that's Canada, isn't it?
No. It was in the U.S., but it was a Canadian name.
Isn't Vancouver in Canada?
It isn't Ypsilanti in Canada?
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, yeah. So what he did is there was people breaking into his car or something out in his driveway or wherever. He went out with his shotgun, fired 2 shots up in the air.
Warning shots.
Yeah. And if we remember,
shot a drone down.
And it crashed. But I mean, what do you want?
I don't know if that's true. Anyways,
it's not true. Yeah. But if we think back to what Joe Biden said, he told Dr. Jill Biden, his wife,
right?
If there's noise outside,
honey, if you hear a noise,
step out onto his balcony and shoot the shotgun into the air. And I'm sure you just get a shotgun because it's easier to aim than an AR-15. Yep. Any trouble that's out there will leave.
Women can handle a shotgun better than an AR-15.
And women cannot handle an AR-15.
Not at all.
I mean, that's been proven by millions of women
in the military
AR-15s.
Yeah.
Accurately.
Tens of thousands of women in the U.S. military.
But so this guy, rather than being commended by Joe Biden, Mr. Hairplugs himself,
we got cricket
he
sounds.
Was.
This is what Biden said. Chirp, 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 chirp. No.
And this man was charged with, dangerous use of a very, very dangerous thingy.
Not good. Don't follow
the
his
shotgun
advice.
Was the dangerous thingy. No, it's terrible advice, but the point is, that was the advice he gave the world, that Joe Biden gave the world. And a citizen of the United States followed his advice and is being charged with a crime.
Do you think his attorney will bring that up in court?
I hope so. It won't do any good, and it shouldn't do any good because the law's the law, whether the president and the vice president think it is or not.
Well, I don't know. I think if the president or the vice president says you can do something, I think you can do it.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not true?
No. It shouldn't be true either. Now, the president thinks that if he says he can do something, he can do it, and he's been getting away with it because of all of us sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's supposed to work. And definitely not how it applies to any of us if we do something he says.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it turns out that that's the truth. Yep. That is the state.
I'm going to start recalling my drones.
You might want to. You might be missing one. I think this guy shot one of yours down.
I got a few people I'm not really happy with.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about gun ban for suspected terrorists? Real quick, this is a gun control ploy. It's been brought up before and defeated all the time. The Democrats and the anti-gun people are saying, you know what, we want to pass a law that says you can't sell any firearms to somebody that's on the FBI's suspected terrorist list. Now, what does that mean, Nate? Suspected. Does that mean there's proof?
It means no. It means conservative.
Oh. Oh, like a Tea Party member?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Or anybody with an internet radio show that talks about liberty.
That's the issue that's at hand, and it's a good thing it was defeated again, because the issue is anybody can put your name on a suspected terrorist list to control whether you can own firearms or not. It's a bad idea. If they are terrorists and it's known, sure, maybe restrict their gun rights.
If they are terrorists,
they're suspected, what the hell does that mean?
What are they doing
go
loose
get
in
the
our
guy.
country?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. 248-455-ODDS. Give us a call. We're going to have 10 or 15 minutes when we come back. Lots to talk about.
We'll have more stuff.
We sure will. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Don. After you reboot your computer, you should listen to the At Odds Show.
Red State Talk Radio.
The idea of government taking over healthcare is enough to make you sick.
The conservative voice.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-800-257-2873. 1-800-257-2873. 1-800-257-2873. That's 1-800-257-2873.
When it comes to TV, if you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best value in entertainment. Not only will you find the same channels you know and love for less, Dish sweetens the deal with free HD for life and premium movie channels free for 3 months, including Blockbuster at home. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Why would you ever pay more for TV? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Free HD for life, premium channels free for 3 months, scores of movies with Blockbuster at home, premium savings when you bundle DishNet high-speed internet service. Limited time offer, 24-month agreement with credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. Call for details.
Call Dish Satellite, your Dish authorized retailer now. 800-507-9468. 800-507-9468. 800-507-9468. That's 800-507-9468.
Red State Talk Radio.
Why spend more than you have to on your life insurance? Did you know that term life insurance rates have fallen over 60% in the last 15 years? At the Life Insurance Quote Line, we monitor the rates, features, and financial strength of hundreds of life insurance products. For example, a healthy 40-year-old can protect his family with $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $20 a month. Rates for women are even lower. And don't forget to ask us about the new term life policies that guarantee your money back even if you don't die. Since 1986, we've helped tens of thousands of people just like you save a fortune on their life insurance. Why not find out how much you can save? Write down this number and call today for your free quote. 1 5-minute call is all it takes. Call 800-610-3497. 800-610-3497. That's 800-610-3497. Rates, policy forms, and availability vary by state.
And we're back. You're listening to At Odds. I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
We were talking about a lot of stuff.
Way to sum it up for him. We've been talking about things. And,
yeah, lots of things here and there. We talked about a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Don't forget, if you're just tuning in, we are live Thursdays at 8 p.m. At oddshow.com. We're on redstatetalkradio.com. What we are doing over the next 2 weeks, we're running a contest. Everybody who likes us between now and 2 weeks from now, so our show in 2 weeks, we will put those people that like us within the next 2 weeks, we'll put your name in a hat twice. you will get
double your chance.
Double your chance in the hat. It might not be a hat, so I don't want to. Probably going to be a cup or something. Put your name in it. Anybody who currently likes us.
We have many likes. It'll be a 55-gallon drum.
You'll get one like in the container. And then we're going to draw a name, and we'll send you a copy of our free copy of our book, My Parents Open Carry.
That's true.
It is true.
And remember,
yes,
your odds of winning are based on how much money you send Brian and Nate at odds. We'll take money orders.
Yeah, send us an email, talk@oddshow.com.
Because we can be bought.
We can.
Otherwise, you can purchase the book.
I was going to say, if you go to myparentsopencarry.com and send money there, you'll get a book in the mail.
Yeah, you will.
It's kind of like bribery, but it's more like capitalism.
Plus a bonus book.
Yeah, Bond of Unseen Blood.
Yep. Great little mystery novel. You know what? Did you ever watch Reno 911? It's sort of a spoof on
Yes, I have
cops.
watched that show.
Great. You know the guy that wears the bulletproof vest over his uniform all the time?
Yeah, and I think that's the way to do it.
Why?
What would be better than wearing a bulletproof vest over your uniform is to just skip the uniform. Just wear the bulletproof vest.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's catching on in Arizona. Because apparently 2 off-duty drunk cops walked into a convenience store. Nate and I watched the video. It's hilarious.
Sort of hilarious.
It's sad.
Knowing that nobody got hurt, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious that way. Yeah, it's like when it's not involved.
If you were the clerk,
losing their
not
eye.
hilarious.
Not hilarious. They walk into the store with no shirts on, just their bulletproof vest. The one guy had his holster over his belly button. I don't know if they had badges or not, but they had some other stuff hanging on. It looked like a utility belt. They're dressed in blue jeans, no shirt, bulletproof vest. One's blue and one looks like it's khaki, kind of a tan color or something. They walk into the store drunk, and the young 23-year-old officer pulls out his gun and starts waving it at the clerk. Now, I don't know about you, but I think, Nate, almost anywhere that's assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, I think so. And, I mean, you're focusing on the finer points of this. I think
Really?
the real travesty in this is the tackiness of these people to wear a bulletproof vest with no shirt under it.
Arizona's finest. I don't know what department
I think
they're
that's
in.
the real problem here. If you're going to do something like this, at least look nice.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
like Adam did when he
was
federal
dressed
law.
very nice.
Yes.
This guy that just did it with the 45 in his backpack, no shirt.
Sloppy jeans. I don't know if he had shoes on. Snot running down his nose.
Balding.
Aqua lung.
He should have wore a hat.
Yeah, at least, or had a tie on. He could have wore a tie.
I know.
Anyways, these cops pull it, or the one does, pulls his gun, waves it all around. His partner's like, "Hey, man, don't do that, don't do that." Oh, what that?
Laughing.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. This poor clerk probably has to change his underwear.
Yeah.
And the only good news is they did fire the officer.
They're lucky they didn't get shot. I mean,
I don't know why charges aren't filed. And I don't know why this guy doesn't sue.
I know why.
Yeah,
and I hope they do. And maybe charges will be filed. It's still early,
We don't
right?
know. Yeah.
This happened 2 years ago, so you never know. Oh, boy. No, it was recent. But
Kool-Aid there. It was just recently. I don't know. They look terrible. I mean...
Look, you can't walk into a convenience store and wave your gun around. I don't give a damn if you are a police officer or not.
And you can imagine the what's going through the clerk's mind. Here's 2 guys, no shirts, bulletproof vests, and guns.
Even if they came in and said they were police officers, would you buy it?
Yeah, would you buy it? I mean, I'm surprised someone in the back room didn't come out and start firing buckshot at him.
And justified.
It could have gotten very ugly. Yes.
But did they have stand your ground in Arizona? Maybe
probably.
Maybe they had to retreat because all he was doing was waving a gun.
Yeah, all right. If you're a police officer and you're listening to the show, don't do that, and don't support fellow officers that do that kind of stuff. Chastise them.
Oh, geez, I almost
try to break the thin blue line.
This reminded me, we have more to talk about, but I think this is important. I want to make a little public service announcement on this show.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I got a message from a friend today that in Genesee County, because where else than Flint, Michigan area.
Well, you have to tell them where that is. Okay, Flint, Michigan. That's in Michigan.
Yeah, it is in Michigan. The county's going door to door checking for dog registrations. And we heard that it was happening in Oakland, Michigan, Oakland County or something in Michigan.
Royal
right?
Oak or
Royal
something.
Oak.
Somewhere in Detroit.
And it's happening all over the place.
Yeah.
They're going door to door.
They need money.
Saying, I want to check your dog. Well, what happened in Flint, apparently, is a mailman got attacked by a pit bull. And these people that just can't use logic, and I know many of them, I have a lot of them that are very close to me, and I try to tell them, you're wrong, that see pit bulls and just think they're evil dogs.
Right.
They don't understand that it's not the dog, it's the owner and the training the dog had. Dogs can be mean, but it's not. In the end, it's not the dog's fault. The lady told my friend that they're specifically looking for pit bulls because what they're hoping to do, on top of raise money from the dog license, is find pit bulls that they can take and kill. Because that's what they do in these shelters.
Well, and not only
they
that,
just kill the pit bulls because pit bulls are evil, just like assault weapons.
And just like
whatever the hell an assault weapon is, what's a pit bull? They're mean dogs, mean guns, kill people, mean dogs.
And a lot of municipalities are not allowing you to own a pit bull in their cities or their municipalities. A pit bull you can't own. Well, the problem is, folks, there is no breed called a pit bull, is there?
There is not. There is not. I mean, like an assault weapon, you know it when you see it. We've heard that argument before, right?
So it's a black dog that's kind of...
Well, you saw the picture I made. It was
meme,
a black dog and a black assault,
Right.
assault. I see, I'm falling into it.
I know it.
Jeez. Wow. A gun that would be called an assault weapon.
You're becoming more of a liberal every day.
I might be a liberal.
We've been hanging out together a long time. I'm getting more conservative and you're getting more liberal. That's just not right.
Yeah, I think we're actually running out of time here, though. Oh, the other thing.
We got a
Do
few
not leave your dogs in the car.
Oh, yeah,
It's like 100 degrees outside. Don't be stupid. I saw a picture of somebody.
It's like 800 degrees
Somebody
inside
sent
the
a
car.
picture because they went into McDonald's. They came out, and the dog catcher and police cars were lined up behind their car. And they're going, I only left him in there for like 10 minutes. No, idiot. After 10 minutes, it's 100 degrees out. Your car's like 150 degrees.
Inside.
If you wouldn't sit in there with the windows up and the air conditioning
Why should
off,
you have your dog
don't leave
with
your
fur
dog in there.
that doesn't have sweat glands? They respire through their mouths and paws.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get into the science of that and scent and things, but we don't have time right now. Unfortunately, we are.
I'm giving you a dumb look right
Nicho,
now.
I want to say thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry the show's almost over, though. You are giving me a dumb look, but it looks like every other look you've ever given me.
You can't tell, can you?
AdOddShow.com, Facebook.com/AdOddShow. I'll post the contest if you hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, really do it. I mean, if you're listening to us, go to our Facebook, and we don't put a lot of crap on it. We just give you sort of updates of when our shows are and things like that. We don't bombard you with a bunch of crap, so it's pretty safe to like us on Facebook. Give us comments on Facebook as well. We need some feedback. We want to know if you like the show, if you don't like the show. If you like the show, don't tell anybody. If you like the show, tell everybody you know. That's all I got to say
just tell
about
people.
that. Jenny.
All right. See you next week.
Bye-bye.